Adam Brophy is the VP of Revenue Operations at CentralSquare. Adam and his team recently made the switch to Pursuit from their prior provider, and what they found was remarkable. Their business development team generated 6.6 times as much pipeline with Pursuit compared to their prior provider. Adam, thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Appreciate you joining. So just give us a sense of what the before state looked like. So before you switched to Pursuit, what did your pipeline generation process look like? And walk us through maybe a typical week for a BDR or an AE who is trying to find and qualify opportunities in SLED.
Yeah, sure. So before Pursuit, our process worked, right? But it really took a lot of effort. So each week our BDRs use several tools to identify we call high propensity accounts. Right? Then we have to manually find the right contacts, find the right users, decision makers, and so forth. Then we have to build personalized messaging from scratch. So in government sales, timing and context matter more than anything, really, in my opinion. But pulling all those pieces together was really time consuming. So we were spending a lot more time building campaigns than actually running campaigns, right? Pursuit helped us completely change that.
Yeah, got it. So it was a super manual process, and I think there's only so many hours in the day, right? So people weren't able to go as deep or as broad as they might have wanted. Talk to us about the decision to switch. Like, what motivated it?
So honestly, we weren't really looking to switch. We had a solution in place. By all accounts, it was working well. But Pursuit kept coming up in conversations with people that we know and trust, in the government space, and we decided to check it out. So we actually ran a pilot for a bit. We had some power users of our other solution, and our direction to that group was, let's try to break this thing. Right? Find a reason not to switch, because that would make my life a lot easier if I didn't have to switch things selfishly, right?
Yeah.
But instead, we walked away really impressed. The Pursuit team even built a few features that the incumbent had that weren't in Pursuit at the time. And you guys did that in a week, 2 weeks. Really leaned in, really tried to understand our specific public sector sales process. It was, like I said, we were really impressed. Our previous platform had a lot of data, but finding what really mattered took way too much time. And Pursuit kind of flipped that on its head, right? The right opportunities now surface automatically. So no more digging around trying to find the right information. And The result, the 6.6x increase in weekly pipeline generation. And that's what got everyone's attention, to be quite honest. That's the real metric that drove this.
I just want to say, I love that. And trying to break Pursuit is like my favorite thing, because then we can pull out all the stops and make it work for everybody, and appreciate you doing that and the team for that.
Yeah. That whole process made us better.
Reasons. What's that?
That whole process made us better. So thanks for the opportunity.
Great. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, honestly.
So you talked about the before and the after and the 6.6x jump for the AEs and the BDR teams that are generating pipe. From a RevOps perspective, though, beyond just the pipeline increases, what's different now versus before? Just from like your chair as it relates to data and RevOps.
Well, so Pursuit instantly kind of connects the dots. We don't have to search through the data anymore. It surfaces the right accounts, contacts, insights. Our BDRs can build high quality prospect lists, confirm contacts, craft relevant outreach in minutes instead of hours, right? Typing the right email, referencing the right, phrase in a document.
Right.
With the Salesforce and Chrome integration, it fits into our workflow. Right? Faster, more precise. That's really what drove the pipeline increase. But from more of a RevOps and tools perspective, Pursuit fits perfectly into how we're thinking about AI and AI investments. Right? It solves a real problem, albeit a problem we didn't know we had that we could improve on, but we discovered it, and it delivers measurable value. Right? It's not AI for AI's sake, which I love. Right? It's actionable intelligence. It improves selfishly forecasting accuracy, performance visibility. It helps us see where momentum is building in certain areas. Our data is cleaner.
Yep.
Insights faster. Reporting is much better. It gives us more clarity from a RevOps perspective. That's super important to me.
And I think one thing I'm just curious your take on is, just talk for a second about the Salesforce integration. How did that go versus your expectations? How did our integration process compare to other integrations that you've done in the past?
Oh, it was extraordinary. I mean, it was seamless. We have a great a Salesforce team internally. I usually hear about everything that goes wrong and all the reasons why we can't do certain things, which I sincerely appreciate, right? They have our back. They want to make sure that we're getting our data. And I didn't hear much about this process, to be honest with you. I was copied on some communication, but everything seemed to go very, very smoothly. It's the data is really easy to consume within Salesforce. Right? It was easy to create some new fields that we needed. It was compared to some other nightmares I've been through. This was fantastic.
The last question I'd have for you is, if you think about yourself 6 months ago, or another peer of yours who hasn't yet implemented Pursuit, and maybe, like you said, they don't even necessarily know they need to. What are some of the things that, after having done it and been through it, what are some of the things that you believe now that you didn't believe or that you didn't know then?
That's a good question. The one thing that the primary takeaway I have is if you think your current process works, you want to be sure to challenge that, right? And I spoke about that with the incumbent. Everything was great. We had no complaints. But when we did that, when we challenged that assumption, Pursuit was able to show us what we were missing. Right? It wasn't about swapping one tool for another. It was really about transforming how the team identifies and creates opportunities, which we weren't generally aware of at the time, right?
Yeah.
We could do more, obviously, but this allowed us to do it differently and much faster. And I think, once we saw the speed, precision, and the results delivered by Pursuit in a very short amount of time, it's tough to think about going back. Wasn't very disruptive, right? The only disruption really was kind of realizing the potential that we were leaving untapped in a way. So
yeah. Totally. That would be So maybe the summary there is, the classic, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, probably doesn't apply. I mean, and I think that's true in AI today. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors, but it is actually possible to do things today that you just couldn't do 15 months ago. And this is a really fast changing part of the world. And we're excited to have partners with you that can help us understand what the problems are and what we should be focusing on. So really appreciate you joining the interview today, Adam, and it's been so great to partner with you and with your team, and we look forward to a long relationship together. So thank you.
Yeah, guys.
Thank you so much, Adam.
Take care.